Welcome back to the Chillcast. We're your hosts, Joey Rucker.
And Brent Murphy.
And we're here with another just laid-back episode, trying some new formats out, trying to test some things, but...
Trying to honestly just get back to the swing of things.
Yeah.
We've been a little behind.
Take a breather, honestly. I mean, this honestly feels almost like it's the first Chillcast where we deserve to just chill for once.
Yeah, the other times we've just been like, maybe a little bit lazy, but like...
Yeah, little pressed on time. This one, we're not exactly pressed on time, but we're just... It's some hard work getting these episodes out every week for you guys.
It's been, I mean, just getting it done every Wednesday at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd we say 12?
I don't know.
I think that was my idea too.
We could change it, honestly.
Dude,
still do Wednesdays, but like...
Who's listening Wednesdays at 12, man? Like, why do we even think that was a good idea?
I don't know. But, I mean...
Well, we do have a couple updates. So...
What kind of updates? What are we updating?
Well, I mean, the fact that all of our... Well, not all of the episodes. Most of our episodes are on almost every platform.
In the works of getting everything...
We're waiting for Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, they have not... I actually don't know the process
It said 2 weeks for Apple Podcasts. So, we got another week.
But we're getting there. There's like, 6 episodes out on pretty much everything other than a few...
Yeah.
But it's on like Amazon Music, Spotify.
I think we're just waiting for approval for all the other ones. But we're on like 10, I think, platforms right now.
Yeah, 10 different platforms, including YouTube right now.
Yeah.
So
pretty crazy.
Pretty wild. I have a news update, like a legitimate news update, if you want.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was interesting. You might get some interest in this. Apparently, now I didn't do a lot of research on it, so I'm not going to be able to give you the correct location. So we'll just say somewhere out of the country.
Got it.
Some other country. They had one of the first, if not the first, like successful arm transplant.
What?
Like there was a painter who had a tragic accident in a train incident where he lost both of his arms, and apparently I don't know the specifics either about who the guy who offered up his hands were. I would imagine he's on death row or something, because like, who just gives up their arms?
Yeah, especially being alive.
Yeah, exactly. So I gotta believe he's like on his way out if he's willing to part with them, but. Yeah, so apparently this process was insane because it's like the first surgery where they had to connect everything, like nerve endings, like bones, muscle,
especially if
all
it's
getting
stuff. Now I would assume it was being surgically removed.
I believe they had to surgically remove it from the donor and then surgically implant it onto the guy who lost both of his arms.
So what does that entail?
I don't know. I would imagine that the PT is going to be wild, having to try and learn how to use your hands again for the first time, especially with not knowing if this procedure is going to be perfect or not. It's the first time, like who knows how that's going to work, but yeah, it looks pretty insane. Like if you look at pictures alone, dude looks like he's just got hands with some scars now. Like it looks odd.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, pretty much like the first Frankenstein.
So did this person have to be the same age? Like if they're
That's
90
the thing. I don't know all the
old.
specifics, but the guy looks like he's in his mid 40s, maybe late 30s. Like I don't think he's super old, but
he's just midlife.
Yeah, midlife, and I don't know specifics on the guy who donated his arms, but honestly, good on that guy, I guess.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting storyline.
He's a living Frankenstein, so I mean that is cool. But
if it works out, I feel like that's a crazy revelation for
medically. That is wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
Scientifically wild, like
because I don't think I've heard of anything like that being done before. You have transplants, obviously, of like organs and stuff. But there's so much that goes into like making the arms work.
That's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've heard of like people like getting their finger like cut off, and then
that's true. I have heard of that.
Being able to be reattached, but
do you know any?
That's also very small. So like,
do you know if they can still like completely control it? Like, can they still bend and everything?
I would assume you have to go to physical therapy.
Well, I mean, maybe. I hope it works out for this guy. If it does, that's a crazy thing that we could maybe start doing for a lot of people who lose their arms and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, like any limbs. I mean, imagine
legs too.
Imagine like like war heroes and stuff, like people who've like gotten hit by like, shrapnel from grenades and all that kind of stuff. Like imagine the like cosmetic advances you could do with stuff like that. Like, cause you could theoretically like, I don't know, like attach an ear, like maybe do stuff like that. Like that's a really far advancement. Like I could only imagine getting to the point where we could maybe do like optical nerve transplants.
Oh,
and you could potentially like literally cure people from
blindness.
Yeah, or like people who have lost their eyes like due to like cancer or something, or like that would be wild. Like that's such a crazy
next step in our human medical
such an advancement, man.
Yeah.
Such an advancement. Too bad the world's gonna implode on itself before long, because we are not in a good shape with each other. So
no, we
really
aren't.
We're going to destroy each other before we get that far. But
yeah,
it's a great time. Well, we do have a little mini topic, right?
Yeah. We're trying out a new format for the Chillcast. Please let us know if you guys like it. We're trying to keep them a little shorter for you.
Yeah. Since they're chill for us, they might as well be chill for you.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna blabber on, and
for 2 hours. The last episode was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At least that one we had topics.
No, it's true.
It's different when you talk for an hour and a half about nothing.
It's
so
true.
So we decided to come on in with a small topic and give you guys a lot of information that we don't really have any knowledge on, and give you guys some subpar advice on some life goals. So
yeah.
Without further ado, what do you got for us?
So we were going to talk specifics on some of our bucket list items, see like what we want to accomplish, what we want to get done before we die. Bucket list topics.
So bleak.
Well, that's kind of what it is. You want to finish it before you kick the bucket. So.
Yeah. Now, we were talking I guess we were on mic, off mic, but on mic.
Yeah.
About whether or not these are realistic.
Are
we going realistic, or are we just like...
No, I think they should be attainable, because I have a couple in mind that I've wanted to do that I do think I could do at one point before I die. If you want to like do something outrageous, maybe like you can only choose like one,
right? Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like I think that's what we should do. You can only pick like one outrageous one. The rest have to be relatively achievable.
Okay, that's facts.
I can start.
Yeah,
if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Because I have a specific one that I've thought about for a long time.
What, have you been planning to kick the bucket? Or?
No. It's just something that I want to do before that time comes, and so.
By the way, where does that saying come from? Kick the bucket?
Well,
you're gonna kick the bucket, and we call your list of dreams before you die your bucket list?
Well, the good thing is that since we're not using cameras, I can actually find you the answer while we talk. But okay. Yeah, I have no idea where that comes from. That's such a weird one. I've never thought about that.
It's just like, it wouldn't be so weird to me if the phrase wasn't bucket list, because are you just...
Somehow they have to be...
Are you just kicking your dreams like over? And you just like, well, this is it. Like,
oh, that's interesting. I'm finding an answer. Hold on. It says,
okay.
Modern American English words most notably... Wait, what? Oh, okay. Jazz and okay owe their origins to African language, dialects, and word formations. Originally popularized by blackface minstrels.
What?
Kick the bucket comes via kickerboo, which means dead, from West African Ga words kekri, which means stiff, and bo, to end up. And also the Sierra Leone Creole kekeraboo, which means dead. That doesn't completely give me the full answer I want, but apparently it has like West African origins.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably butchered those words.
Probably terribly.
You're going to have so many people angry at you for that one, but like,
yeah,
that's interesting. Now, where'd you find that? Like, what is the source for that one? That
was from The Guardian, I guess. Guardian.co.uk. Whatever that is.
Okay.
That's where you can find it.
Interesting. Kick the bucket.
Yeah, it's a whole article on the origin of Kick the Bucket, but that was just an insert that they used as the main thing. So.
Huh. Wow.
There you go.
Well, what's your first bucket list item then?
Yeah. My first bucket list item is that I really want to write a book. I may have talked with you I've definitely talked to you about some of the ideas I've had for it off air, but since we're talking about it,
me drawings.
Yes,
too.
yeah. I haven't completely fleshed out what I want the story to be, but like I've been thinking about the characters and the what's it called? Not location, the setting of the story. And so I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I just can't quite figure out what kind of story I really want to tell. I actually had a revelation about maybe what I could do as somewhat of the main part of the story. So like if I ever do end up writing this and this becomes the final idea, you'll always know that you got it from this podcast. So keep that in mind.
That's right.
I thought
copyright the Woodsmen Podcast.
Yeah. I thought about doing a like a, what do you call it? When you don't expect it, like a, what is that called?
Like a twist.
Yeah, like the twist at the end would be that there's supposed to be four main characters that go on this journey together, basically. And I was thinking that two of the characters are going to be a bit closer than the others. They're going to be like the best of friends. I was thinking about doing a thing where right at the end, right when things are like kind of calming down and they're ready to stop their journey and like end the book, that one of them is going to betray the other, and he or she is going to be kind of a traitor, and they have been since the beginning. And this is wildly inspired on everything I've listened to today. Like I've been listening to the comic strand from Comics Explained. Go check out their YouTube channel. But where Captain America, has his whole history rewritten, and he was a Hydra agent from the very start.
Oh, yes. I have heard about, okay.
And so it was inspired by that. And then I also heard a TikTok today that was like, hey, deep question. If your best friend pulled a gun on you right now and had the intention to kill, what would be your last words to your best friend?
Oh.
So like,
what would it be?
Oh man, dude, I've been trying to think about it.
What would it be if like, I was just like, and you just felt the cold, just the press up against your spine,
barrel of the gun,
and you just like know, like you don't even have to look,
and
you just know, and you're just like, what? Like what? Like
I don't
even.
It's such a hard thing because obviously I don't want it to be stereotypical. Like, you know what?
Why?
Why? Or I always loved you, or something like that. I would want to say something very like, oh, those words hurt. They cut deep. But
I know what I would say.
You already know what you would say.
I already know what I would say.
I knew it.
Do it.
I always knew you were a traitor. What would you say?
Like, wow.
I can just see your face, gun barrel to the back, and you just like, wow, bang.
Either that or it's like that.
It is what it is.
No. You see, my name is Antoine.
The way my banking account is set up.
Well, you see, the way my bank account is set up.
I don't know, man. I don't know what my last words would be. I don't think I could think of any right now.
Man, that's wild. Well, it's funny you said a book. By the way, going back to bucket list. Yeah. We're not going about how we die. We're talking about what we're doing before we die. I actually would like to write a book as well.
Oh, yeah?
Completely different type of book, though. I mean, I want to write like a, maybe not a manifesto because my life is not that interesting, but like maybe these struggles of like spirituality as like a human, like going through that, like what that looks like is like us being humans, and you know, what all sides of that is, not just like taking any religious side, but like just the spiritual journey or like the soul journey, I guess.
How do you, what do you think the format would look like? Would it be, like, what would the chapters look like? Or would they be chapters, or would it just be like
I think it would be chapters. It would probably be more analytical, like maybe more like very clear, maybe like structurally as far as bold titles. kind of structured maybe like that, as far as like kind of just taking you
and each
through.
chapter would be like what, like a little subtopic of how that affects.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
whole
I would
journey?
really like to maybe get interviews with a lot of different people who have experienced different things, like within like just the spiritual journey at all, like
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
it be like say a near death experience, or like say just people with really insane religious stories, as far as like maybe like someone getting healed in church or something, but
Sure,
like
sure.
for real, like people around you
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
hands
yeah,
over
yeah.
you, and then you just stand up and you've been, lame for like 5 years, can't walk. Like some crazy things like that. Like I want to get stories like those and document those and put those into a structure, and then have like an analysis of that. And like, okay, like what can we take from this? How many other stories are there like this? And then kind of do the compare and contrast and see like how all these different stories from all these different sides of like the world like kind
No,
of
that would be
connect,
super interesting. I would love to read that.
in that way. So it would be, I mean, it's a very nerd thing to like want to do, but like I
I
think
don't
it would
like
be
calling
really
things nerd
interesting.
things anymore. I really think we're just getting to that age.
Yeah.
Like we keep calling stuff like, "Oh, I'm such a nerd. I'm so into
And it's
these."
like,
Like
oh man, I like history
I actually
now.
like
I'm
watching
old.
golf now.
Yeah.
It's like
That's wild.
I don't think I
That's wild.
would religiously watch golf, but there's a couple times where I'll just sit down and I'm like, damn, that was a good shot.
I mean,
You're like,
there
what
are
am I
some.
saying?
I mean, there are some where I'm like, how are you hitting the ball that far? Especially since I've top golfed. I don't know if anyone knows what top golfing is,
Oh,
but
definitely.
it's like golf, but like 5 stories up, and you just hit the ball.
It's
off
basically
of the
like if bowling was
building.
golf.
Yeah, except like
It's
off a building.
yeah, off of a building, off into a giant field.
Yeah,
Everybody drinks, everybody parties.
yeah. So bowling.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah. So bowling. I'm terrible at it. So I props to anyone who can hit that ball like a hole in one.
I think if I
That's
did it
wild.
more, I think I would be really good at it. But I think that because I don't do it often, I'm awful.
Well, yeah, if you practice, maybe.
But I don't even mean like religious practice. Like I think that if I just went like once a month, once every couple months, I think I would actually start to get the hang of it.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know, man.
You're not that confident.
I'm not that confident. I'm not that confident in my sports ability in general. Like I'm not really that big of a sports guy. The only sport I like, well, I mean, I guess it's also a white sport, but I mean, not many other sports I was good at. So
Nah, I feel it. I've always been very subconscious about. Is it subconscious? Is that the self-conscious?
Self-conscious, subconscious.
I've always been subconscious. No, I've always been self-conscious about my pitch in baseball.
Oh,
I hate trying
just
to like
throwing in baseball. I'm like, I feel like an idiot. I should not be out here, bro. Like,
Take me
like
out, coach.
fools are like, their glove is all the way up in the air. They're
Yeah.
jumping, trying to catch my, pass. No, it's just not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So, all right.
What
Next.
would you? Okay, yeah, I'm going on to that too.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask: is there anywhere you want to visit before you die?
Yes.
Because I have a couple in mind too.
I love my pirate history, so I would love to go and travel to a lot of different places that like maybe possibly have shipwreck type of. I don't know. I'm an adventurer, so I would love to find.
You want to go on like
treasure,
a full Indiana Jones, Lara Croft, Uncharted type of.
Yeah. I would love it, dude. I would love it. Now, I am also a person, I don't really care about owning all of the said,
you just want to like kind of go there and explore
I just want
it
to,
and see
I
with
want
your
to
own
be
eyes.
there. I want to be there. I want to see, because we kind of forget the fact that like pirate stuff happened in 1700s.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of years ago. like that's a lot of years ago. And just to like see things that are that old is just wild to me. And just to think that there are things so much significantly older that we can find is wild. But because I like pirates, I would love to find something.
That would be cool. No, that sounds awesome.
So I don't know. I know a realistic goal though. I know that there is like a pirate museum, and I believe it's like, I I believe it's in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. And then they also have one, I think is it, I don't know. It's somewhere on the East Coast.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna sound terrible and like name a state that's not on the East Coast and then just sound stupid, but they have Blackbeard type of stuff because like his ship sank, the Queen Anne's Revenge. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. You would know better
than I do. I have no idea.
Yeah, it sank over on the East Coast, so there's stuff over there like having to do with all of that. So I think that would be a cool.
That sounds awesome.
Kind of do.
I would want to travel too for sure. I'm actually a little different than you. Like that sounds awesome, and I would love.
I have a lot of other places I'd travel, but anything pirate related.
The places that have always been in the back of my mind that I just. And especially as I've gotten older, that I would love to see the culture and the nature specifically. Like I would love to go out on these hikes and stuff like that. Would be like China or Japan. I really want to get like the architecture there is so beautiful. I want to see like
especially like Japan, like being an island, it's just I feel like it's so separated from the world. It's like a completely different culture.
There's some mountain ranges in China that just look like if I saw it with my own eyes, I would think it's a painting. You know?
Yeah.
And I would love to go out there and explore it. And I don't even mean like things like, super stereotypical things. Like I wouldn't want to go to the Great Wall, ironically. Nah, that would be cool to go to.
It's a really big tourist thing.
Exactly. I want to go that's somewhere a little more off the charts if I could,
I think my thing is anywhere I would go that's out of the country, I want to, I guess, experience the culture. Like as far as I guess I know some people would go to Hawaii and everything and like they would go to get like tattoos and all that kind of stuff. And like you can't get tattoos from people like on mainland, like unless you like earn them essentially. So there are people who go out and they do whatever test that you have to do to like prove that you're worthy of like all that kind of stuff. I would love to do that anywhere I would go.
Yeah.
To kind of like prove your worth, like to, learn something new, like about a place that you have never been. You probably will never get to go back, like, for the rest of your life. Very few people get to travel the world that frequently like that. And I think it would just be very rewarding to do things that are real rather than do things that are just like, oh, for the gram,
Yeah.
Everything people want to do that, oh, everyone does that while they're over there. Now I want to like experience it for like what it is.
Yeah.
I think that would be sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Do you, since we're, coming up on our little time here, you want to go into like maybe what our one choice of crazy, like more outlandish goal would be?
Yes.
Because I want to know how outlandish does your mind go? Because I have an idea that
that's the thing. I don't know if I go, because I know you already have something in mind.
I thought of it while we were talking.
See, that's the thing. I have nothing, and I'm afraid I'm going to either go too big or I'm going to go too little.
Base it off mine. I'll go first then.
Okay.
In that case, because mine I think could be achievable, but some of the things that it would entail would be unachievable. I would love to be able to say that I made a movie, like a straight up, like, and I'm talking full, high quality Hollywood production, super staffed on special effects if I needed it. One of those stories that is just perfectly, I want to make the movie, but I want it to actually be successful. Like that's the thing that I don't know if I could actually get done. If I took the time and I met the right people and I took the time on the script, I think that making a movie wouldn't be impossible, obviously. But to say that, like, other celebrities have seen it and it's one of their favorite movies of all time,
that would be cool.
I would want it to be that. I want it to be one of those, like, Robin Williams movies where they're just like, oh, my God, this movie really hit me, like, in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I just want to be able to say, like, I was the director or I was the writer of that movie, maybe producer. I don't know. I don't know what the big dog on campus for that one is, but I don't think there's any point in my life right now. You want to be
writer, director, producer?
No, I don't want to be all of them.
Cameraman 1, 2, and 3. Star of the show.
No, I don't even want to be in it. I just
editor.
Hell no.
chief executive editor,
producer or director. Like I want to be the guy where they're like, oh my God, who made that movie? And it's like, oh, that guy. And they're like, oh my God, I love that guy. You know, I don't think that
the
there's
Leonardo
enough
DiCaprio
time. I don't think I have enough time in my current lifestyle and probably for future that I'm ever going to have time to make that big of a movie or get my name out there in order to even start the process.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that one's ever going to happen, but I would love to say that I made like the movie of the year, the one that everybody's talking about all year long.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And that's why I didn't know if that was like
outlandish.
I think
mine's too big.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I think mine's too big.
I didn't know how big to go.
Like really big.
I want to conquer the world.
I want to be the next Alexander the Great.
I thought you were going to say Hitler.
Hey, yo. Bro, you're white. You can't say that. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. Bleep that out. Cut that. Don't cut that. We're not that kind of podcast.
Yeah, we're too lazy to cut things out like that. Are you crazy?
And when we do want to cut things out, I always forget to do it.
Yeah. So it's a terrible
what
cycle
is your
we have fallen in.
big outlandish dream?
I want to discover Atlantis.
That's pretty big. Okay.
Don't ask me how I can achieve it because I don't know. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have no way of knowing how to achieve the goal. I know
But you want to be the
nothing.
guy in the submarine who's like, no, it can't be.
Well, that's the thing. I'm afraid to be submerged in the water like that. So someone else is going to have to do it.
You're afraid of the ocean, but you want to find Atlantis.
No. I'm not afraid of the ocean.
You're afraid of being submerged in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. There are videos out there of the ocean when you get down.
That's
down,
what I mean, dude.
It's just pitch black, and you're like, nah.
that's what I mean, dude. Like, we don't have gills for a reason, and
we weren't meant to be there.
Maybe we should stay out of places we're not welcome,
God.
or places we can't breathe. So. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a big one, but
it's
honestly,
a big one. I mean, could you imagine? What do you
do with that information?
Could you imagine?
Do you even get any credit or?
I don't know. Does the government kill you?
Let's
does
think.
That like
one
what?
section, government kills you, keeps it a secret.
Yeah.
The other, it becomes public, and you're only known as an author who found it.
And no one believes you. No one believes you. No one even reads your book because there's no way this guy found it.
Yeah. It'll end up on one or two podcasts made by guys like us where they're like, apparently this dude found Atlantis.
Yeah, they try and just get an interview with them, and it's actually quite easier to get an interview with the guy who discovered Atlantis, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
only end up paying like $10 to get him on. It's not really it's not really that hard. So I mean, So I don't know how to achieve the goal, but I would love. Now I'm really just asking myself the question: what happens?
I'm trying to think of something more on your
does
level.
The government, I want to know if the government would take you out if you found that information. Is that big enough information for the government to care?
I would love to be a millionaire. Oh my God. But but I would want all of my money to not be taxed. I just want to own it all. Like every penny is mine. I want to be like on Elon Musk's level, but every cent is mine, and if anyone touches it, they die.
Well, I would say I would love to own a lot of land, but the problem is I feel weird, and I know it's gonna sound very hippie or whatever of me, but I've always felt weird about saying own land because you can't own something that is not yours to own or anyone's to give, I don't, it feels weird for me to say, this is my border, don't touch this land. And you don't do anything with the land. You're not, you're not farming. It's just a lot of land.
It's just what you own.
And it's just what you own. It just feels so weird to say, I own own this. No, you don't.
What? You signed a piece of paper.
You signed a piece of paper for something
Dude,
that
I feel
no
the
one can give
same
you.
way about people who buy stars. I'm just like, dog, stop saying you own this star.
You don't own anything. They've given 18,000 people the same star.
You paid $20,000 so that you could say you own a star, but no, you do not own a star. It's just still out there.
Think about the dumb freaking, like, you can pay $50 and buy a star.
Yeah.
How many of those have people just sold? People just sell a piece of paper with a star on it.
Why do so many people buy it as like a gift for their significant other where they're like,
why do they care?
You know what I got?
It's a star.
Hands them the paper. It's like, and they look at it, they're like, what am I looking at?
And it's like, not even on like photo paper or like copy paper. It's just
like a printed
regular,
out Word doc.
It's just regular printer paper, dude. Like, it's like the end is ripped. Like you didn't even
coffee on this.
You didn't even frame it. You just gave me a piece of paper. You didn't even wrap it. It's just it's in a shoebox. Joey, it's in a shoebox.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty great.
Yeah. Honestly, I hate those people.
I don't get it. I don't understand. There are a lot of really worthless gifts like that, though, to be honest.
I guess one last question I have is, would you ever want to go to space?
No,
really?
No.
Not even like a little hint of like the idea of the exploration, seeing it with your own eyes?
No.
Is there a reason why no? Just because it's scary, or because you just don't want to know? You just don't want to know?
Nah.
I'm too busy. I got bills to pay.
Well, I don't know, man. You know how I feel about space and how I feel about all that kind of stuff. Like, there's just so much.
Sure, but like, what about that program that what's his name just went on, where it sends you up to the Earth's atmosphere so you can see just Earth for a moment, and then it just takes you back down, and that's all it is. Would you not even do something like that?
Is that real? God, did they do that?
I've seen footage. I can't, No,
I'm not saying that with my conspiracy mind. I'm asking you that.
I've seen a video of these people who go up in the ship. Have they done it
already?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Because I knew they were talking about making like a ship that like can send people up, where it's like almost like a commercial airliner, but like
it's not even spaceship. Like that. The ship itself stands upright. It goes straight up to the point where it stops, stays there for like 5 minutes, and then it goes straight back down and lands like that.
Now, does it only go in low Earth orbit?
Yeah, it doesn't go that far out, but it goes out to like where you can see the crust of the planet, like with your own eyes, and like space behind it, but like. It's not just like you look out and it's Earth over there. You're high enough to see space and see Earth together, but that's about it.
Got it.
I could show you a clip off air. Like I saw it on a Dude Perfect video.
Oh man, I love those guys.
Yeah,
they still make videos.
Yeah, and everyone still goes viral. I don't know how they do it.
I mean, I just don't understand how they keep thinking up things.
Neither do I.
They've been going strong, and I just don't understand how they keep topping themselves.
Yeah,
are they putting out the content that fast, dude?
They got the money. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you have the money, you can pretty much accomplish most of your goals.
Yep.
They say money can't buy happiness, but
it
can sure solve a lot of my problems. That's all I'm saying.
Which would make me happier.
That is right. Well. Is that all we got, man?
I think that's good. I mean, this is what the Chillcasts are going to start to become if you guys like this format. If you want them longer, let us know. But right now, I think this is a kind of a good little thing to do when you just want a bit of a relax week.
Nice little breather.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully by the next week, we'll have all the episode stuff figured out on all of the platforms. We're trying to figure out.
Yeah, we've run into a couple kinks, but we're working on it.
We goofed up. We tried to honestly do things really well, and we ended up really just messing everything up.
More confusing.
Yeah, so we're gonna get all that stuff worked out, but hopefully by the next week, it should be pretty good, and hopefully everything will be on Apple Podcasts by then, and all the other streaming platforms that we are currently waiting on. And yeah, it should be a good time.
I think you guys will definitely all enjoy it. Make sure to follow us on our social media, Woodsmen, the Woodsmen Pod. No, Woodsmen Pod on Instagram.
Woodsmen Pod on Instagram.
The Woodsmen Pod on TikTok.
And the Woodsmen Pod at gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any hate mail, any fan mail,
let us know.
We love the hate mail, so please bring it in. We also would love to get some interviews in eventually. So if you would love to be on this show,
let us know.
Because we don't have a lot of options. So most likely you will be on the list to call. So yeah. Well, this has been the Woodsmen Podcast. We're your hosts, Brent Murphy
and Joey Rucker.
Later, Gators.
Yeah. The Woodsmen Podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker.
Engineered by Brent Murphy and edited by Joey Rucker.
Additional editing by Brent Murphy and blood, sweat, and tears by the both of us.
Any content by the Woodsmen Podcast may not be used without our permission.